Welcome to the LC3 Family Talk podcast, where we take a deeper look at everything from recent sermons to current events, all through a biblical lens. You'll love the guests and stories you'll hear on LC3 Family Talk, where our goal is connection, community, and relationship with God and with one another. And now, here's your host and one of our pastors, David Pritchard.
Well, hello, LC3 Family Talk. So glad that you are here. Pastor David here. We're going to have a conversation today that is pretty relevant to what I think everyone is experiencing or feeling or reading about. And it involves talking about our food bank. So I have invited a couple of guests to join me today. Right next to me is somebody who is one of my heroes, Lucy Wise. She's the director of our food bank. Next to her is Sam Solis. Sam has been a volunteer with them for many years, and I'm excited for you to get to know them a little bit more, but I'm excited because we're going to get a chance to talk a little bit about the food bank. So thanks you guys for joining me. So good to have you both here. I'd love to just start because I know our folks haven't necessarily all met you. And so why don't we just start with telling us a little bit about yourself, your family. And so Sam, let's start with you.
Hi, so my name is Sam Solis, originally from Los Angeles, California. I am married, 3 children, they're adults now. I have 5 grandsons, or we have 5 grandsons, and 21 years in the military. Decided to call Silicon home and Lake City Community Church home.
Nice. And Lucy, how about you?
Been here all my life. Grew up down the street. I was born down the street. Have lived in the same house for 74 of my 79 years. I have married, have 3 girls and 6 grandchildren.
Nice. I'd love to hear how you guys both ended up coming to Lake City.
I was born into it and been here all my life.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yes. My folks lived just down the street. Mom and Dad were very active in the church, so it just kind of came naturally, and I stayed with it.
Nice. How about you, Sam?
What brought us to Lake City is the search for a church while in the military. Very hard with a lot of moves. Eventually, my wife found Lake City Community Church and said this was very much similar to the church that we got married in and we did our marital counseling in. And I was just excited about that, and that's what brought us here. I believe it was about 2015. So,
not quite as long as Lucy, but
not many in the church have been.
That's so great. I'd love to hear a little bit about your faith journey. Like, how did you guys come to know the Lord?
Mine was more as a child. I remember I was probably 5 or 6 in our Sunday school class. Mrs. Stillman was one of our teachers and led me to Christ. And it was probably...
Oh, I know that name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And probably in 8th grade, Pastor Stuck baptized me because I was babysitting for history boys all the time. So, yeah, it's just been a ongoing, continuous thing with me.
That's beautiful.
For me, it was off and on as a child until I started dating who's my wife now. We were going to church consistently, and I thought we could just get married in the church until the pastor said, "Oh, hold on, you have to go through a marital counseling class so that we know that you are really serious." We both ended up going through the class, getting married. We've been baptized the first time, and it was, I don't know, I think we didn't really fully grasp everything, and we got baptized here in 2016 at the Black Lake.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so great. Because I've done a lot of weddings, and Kelly and I do premarital counseling. It's fun because oftentimes couples will come and like, yeah, we want to get married. And I go, oh, tell us more. Like, what do you understand about marriage? Like, nothing. We're in love, though. We want to get married. Like, whoa. Yeah, so slow down. Let's talk a little more. Yeah, I'm glad to hear Pastor asked you guys to do that. That's great. So part of the reason I asked you guys to come, and as we're recording this in real time, we're in a time in our culture right now where the government is shut down. There's some anxiety around food. There's some anxiety around what's going to happen now. We're a large military community, so that creates some anxiety about a government shutdown. And so I thought this was a good opportunity to meet our food bank, and let's talk a little bit about what's happening here. And then also at some point I want to be able to ask, like, how can we support you guys in all of this? And so when we talk about the food bank, I'd love to hear a little bit of, like, how did you guys get started working at the food bank or volunteering? It's been a while for you, I know.
Yeah. I just started bagging things that I could take home and bring back on Thursday mornings. Did it for about a year until Wanda Hayes, who was the director prior to me, her husband was being transferred to New Mexico. And so she conned me into trying, doing it. And so I have for 12 and a half years now, I've been the director. And as we increase in numbers so drastically, and now with this government shutdown, we've noticed we've had 14 week before last, about 13 last week signing up that have never had to come before, that are so concerned about what's happening.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sam, how'd you get started with the food bank, and how long ago?
Yeah, so it was about 9 years ago. I was on the security team, and I met Tracy Blevins, and we hit it off, and he was just promoting the food bank, and he said, we can always use your help. And I said, okay, let me go over there and help you out. Maybe there's a few things I can do. And lo and behold, there was more than a few things I can do, and I seen the need to try to be more consistent in coming and volunteering, because volunteering it's not a constant, and you can't always depend on a volunteer because there's other things that they might have to do. So I decided I'm just going to come as much and as often as I can. So about 9 years ago now.
Well, and I remember a time your dad was helping as well,
Yes.
right? Yes.
I got my dad to volunteer, and
That's great.
I try to bring in people who I try to just connect and get people to come as well, because I see the need. And talking with Lucy and Tracy and the historical patterns, and now with the government shutdown, it's just going to increase.
So you both have been doing this for a decade. What's been your favorite part of being involved with the food bank?
I think for me sometimes it's just watching the looks on people's faces, the gratefulness that they'll express to you. We put a devotion in their boxes every week, and how they'll come and tell me, I read this every day to my kids, or we read it every night. And to see them planting seeds,
Yep.
it's, I think, really important to me.
Yeah, love that.
For me, it's seeing God show up every time by the food that we get, the people who are delivering food in their own personal vehicles, seeing the smiles and the interaction, one, of the volunteers, and two, just like Lucy said, the people who are coming in getting the food. It's a hard step to take to come and ask for food. So seeing them do that and want to care and contribute to whatever's going on at home, that is the biggest step that someone can make for their family and for themselves. So seeing that, and just also getting to know them on a personal level. You see some people come in every week, and you get to know them. You get to know their backstory. And you get to pray with them at their cars while you're putting in their food, their groceries that they're going to have for maybe a day or two. So it's that piece, that just seeing God show up all the time.
What's been hard?
I think sometimes just knowing that people are in such need, or watching some that, really struggle as you follow them on from year to year, and the problems, but again, we're there to try and encourage and help show God's love. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
The hard areas that I've experienced with working at the food bank is maybe not giving them enough. Maybe
like they're asking for more. Is that what you mean, or you mean like you give them this, but you feel like I should be doing more?
Yes, I feel like there's more that we can do. It's a flow of over 150, I would say, average coming through.
180 or more now.
180 or more now, because
two.
of a lot of things changing. So they get food, but there's so much more opportunity for the people to gather more resources, to know about our church, and they do. We have people who do that, and with the devotional, with our person-to-person contact with them, we get to know what else they need. And like I said, once you start getting to know people, you know what kind of food they like or what diet restrictions they have. So we try to help them out in those specific ways.
Well, and I know over the years we've had people end up at church, and it's been through the food bank, which has been really beautiful.
Yes.
I'm wondering, have there been some times you think back and you remember, like, where you walked away and you said, oh man, that was God, or you saw God show up as you were serving here?
I think so many times that shows up just in the volume of food that comes in versus the volume of people that come, and you think, wow, I didn't think we'd have enough, and look, it worked out perfect. Or we had just enough meat, or we had just enough of this or that.
And you threw around some numbers, but I want to make sure not everybody understands what those numbers mean. Because I remember not that long ago where you had some weeks where there was under 100, but those are families, right? When we say those numbers, that's families, not 100 people. Right. But I remember there were some weeks we dropped under 100 families.
A year ago.
Yeah, or more.
Or more.
But this last week, if I'm not mistaken, it was 198 families.
Families.
Yes, and some of those are very large.
We had 17 families that have 9 or more in their family. So a huge volume of food goes out right there.
Yeah. We have a process to try to verify, that's actually the family that they have. And
they give us their address, their names, their birth dates for everybody in their household.
That's a huge swing of how many people. And 198 times whatever the average is, that is a ton of people that you're serving, which is amazing. And then that's what you're saying, seeing God show up to actually have enough food for all of those people. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
So right now, if I were to ask you, what are you most anxious about in this moment that we're in right now? What would you say?
I think we're looking forward to Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I'm trying to determine how many. We always try to provide a meal for them over and above their regular food, a turkey and all the get-togethers for a family meal. I'm trying to determine how many, so that we'll have enough but not go overboard, because money is money.
Yeah.
So, that's a difficult one, and we'll do it again at Christmas. So with the volume that keeps coming, we don't know what to do.
Yeah. Sam, I'll call you out a little bit. You just got your degree in social work. You're going to be doing that for the VA, hopefully here sometime soon.
Yes.
So this is the world where you are wanting to step into anyhow. What do you find yourself anxious about when you think of all that's going on right now?
So what I first and foremost find myself anxious about is the housing need. Getting to know a lot of the people who come through and their families, and a lot of their situations revolves around housing, whether they're unhoused or, hey, my rent eats first. That is a common theme coming through the food bank. So knowing that, and knowing that they don't have a lot of funds for those healthy meals that the doctors want you to eat.
Yes, sure.
And they can be pricey, and especially depending on how large your household is. So that is a health area, which leads to I can be out of work and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of factors that I add in there on my own. And I've spoken to Lucy about it and Tracy about it, just being thankful for the farmers that when their crops are done, they bring their produce, which is very healthy, and we try to distribute that as much as possible. Now, going back to Thanksgiving, a few of us go and pick up turkeys early in the morning, which is great. We see the opportunity to help the community. It's just not everybody has the means to cook those turkeys.
Oh my, yes.
They don't have ovens. So there's a lot of different things I am anxious.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had conversations with Tracy, and I love how he almost lights up when there's lots of healthy food to hand out. Like, oh, we got a bunch of produce, and
Yes.
I love that, just that heart of we want to give them healthy food. Your heart is trying to do that as much as possible.
Absolutely, yeah. We do get in some ham meals too, just because we know that some of our unhoused can easily just slice it up and make
Yeah,
sandwiches out of them. So
that's great. So you alluded to it, but Thanksgiving and Christmas are around the corner. Hard to believe. November is next week, depending on when you're listening to all of this. But you guys do some things at Thanksgiving and Christmas. Could you tell us a little bit about what you typically do for those two holidays?
it's just that we do go and provide a complete meal with your turkey. It's got your stuffing. It's got cranberry sauce. It's got, potatoes, bag of potatoes, and all that good stuff. So that's given extra over and above their regular.
So the idea is
Pick up.
whatever they would normally come pick up, they pick that up plus
Plus.
a box with the
That has
meal
a holiday meal in it.
for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And then at Christmas
And
time.
again at Christmas.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then at Christmas time, too, we also are involved with, the church has the giving tree that supports our children of our food bank clients. All year long, we've been collecting things brought in from World Vision and people in the church and anybody and everybody, and we gather it and then open the gym for Christmas, and they're able to go through and pick out gifts for their families or for their children that they wanted to pick out, and they'll pick up their giving tree gifts at that time too. So it's a really big function.
Okay,
It takes lots of volunteers for that job.
What is the giving tree?
The giving tree is just where our families that come in, if they want their children to have a gift, they can tell us a little bit whether they want a toy, whether they want clothing, and what size. And Julie Franco makes up tags that go on a tree, and everyone can take them. The members of the church take them and buy gifts and wrap them and bring
Yeah,
them
so the
back.
tag will say 8-year-old girl,
Yeah.
like,
A sweatshirt,
Yes.
size such and such.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so they bring that all back, and so that's a really big, exciting thing for the people. Yeah.
so are you saying, I don't know the answer to this, but are you saying like Thanksgiving, there's 198 families, you're not going to have 198 turkeys?
Yes, we will.
Okay,
Or turkeys and hams, yes.
yes,
Probably over 200 I'll be buying,
yes,
so
that's a lot.
that's an awful lot.
So I guess the natural follow-up question is, if somebody's listening and they're saying, I had no idea, I want to help, what does that look like?
They can always, particularly for the meals, they can donate money. That helps us purchase those things by just marking the food bank and giving a certain amount. And prayer, so that we know it's going to come in. God has a way of bringing things through the stores even that, we had no idea was coming in, and all of a sudden, just what we need comes in. It's absolutely amazing.
And then how about manpower? Any needs for that right now?
Not so much for Thanksgiving. I think we have that lined out for all the people picking up the dinners. And then, but Christmas, yes, to run that thing in the gym is really big. So usually it's right after Thanksgiving. When the giving tree goes up, we will be in the foyer also trying to sign up some volunteers to help out with setup in the gym, shopper helpers walking through, helping the people, and clean up. So we'll be doing that.
Sam, as you think of these next couple months and all that's going to go on, what are some things that you would say to our church family in terms of maybe getting involved or helping out?
Yeah, I would say don't ever think there's more than enough volunteers. Come anyway. See where you can provide any assistance. And it might be just handing out flyers, but you don't have to lift the heaviest box in the food bank.
Sam will do that.
Sam's going to do it, yeah.
They call me for that all the time. I'm like, okay, where's my back support? You don't have to be the strongest person there. We just need people to maybe help usher people through. If you're bilingual, that would
Be a big
go a
help.
long way, because we have a lot of bilingual Spanish-speaking people. If you can speak Ukrainian, Russian, it's a diverse amount of people that come through the food bank that speak languages I've never heard of before. And I've been to a bunch of different countries, so it's
It's not like you've lived a sheltered life.
right. So yeah, just come.
Yeah, I love that. I love your heart in this. It's such a joy to watch you guys. I'm here a lot of Thursdays, and just watching you guys serve all of those families is such a gift to the kingdom, gift to our church, but obviously a gift to those families in our community. So I say it again, thanks for being here, but thanks for what you do. Thanks for your willingness to step in and serve in this way. And just know that as a church staff, we appreciate you and are so grateful for you guys. So church family, pray about it, how the Lord might nudge you or encourage you to be involved, either supporting them financially or through actually showing up and helping volunteer. So thank you, and thanks for joining us. See you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for connection, community, and relationship here on LC3 Family Talk. See you next time.